Alrighty folks, so our next lesson for today, this is Dustin Cormier and you're watching How to Rock a Campfire, and this lesson is on how to play Big Yellow Taxi. Now, this song is written by Joni Mitchell. There's a new guy, I'm not exactly sure who does it, but he does this song in a little bit more of an approachable way for regular guitarists to be able to play. He does it in the key of G. Joni Mitchell does it in the key of E, or I think it's in the key of E. Joni Mitchell does it very high too. I kind of like the way that this new guy plays it, and so that's the way I'm going to play this song for you guys. It's a great acoustic way of playing the song, okay? So there are a few little tricks and certain things that that you need to do in order to play this song. One of them, one simple one, is when you go to your G chord, most of the time you're going to want to play your G chord like this, okay? Now I know that looks strange. What you're doing is you've got your third finger taking over the third fret of your low E string, okay? That's your third finger on the third fret of your low E string, and then your pinky is taking the third fret of the high E string, okay? And that's and so what you want to do is the fat part of your third finger is going to kill the second string, the A, so you can't hear it at all, right? Because if you've got that A going in there, it makes the low A doesn't belong there. So you want that finger to cut off that second string, right? The reason I'm showing you this is because you're going to do something where you're going to play a C chord, but the G is on the bass, okay? I don't know if you guys can see that. If you listen to this, right, that's your C chord with the G still on the bass. The bass isn't changing there. It's always on the G, and you've got your second finger on the second fret of the D string, and your first finger, your index finger, on the first fret of the B string, right, that's this string. You've got them on there, which creates the sort of a sound of a C chord, but your third finger is still heavily on that low G note, and that is what is giving it the G bass sound, right? And so it's sort of like a G suspended fourth with like the sixth in it, you know, and that's what makes that. If you were to see it written, it would be C/G, right? That's what that would look like, okay? And so there's that part, right? That's how the song kind of starts, right? And then, well, the verse part is how it starts, but so this is the main beat that you want to have for the verse part, okay? It's kind of tricky because you've got to bar the note. Now, there's a harder way and an easier way to do this, okay? There's the harder way, where you actually fully out bar with your first finger. You bar the whole third fret in order to play your C chord, and you do a C7th style chord, which is basically you're taking the A7th shape. Usually your A7th looks like this, right? You're taking that your A7th, excuse me. Usually your A7th looks like this, right? With that middle note taken out of the A. So what you're doing is you're doing your C chord by having this A7 style chord. You've got your second finger on the fourth fret of the D string, that's that string, and then you've got your third finger on the fifth fret of the B string. And the rest is all barred by that finger, okay? And so that allows you to have the pinky, that gives you your pinky the freedom to go from the fifth to the sixth, okay? And so that's what you're doing, is you're going like this. That quick little thing, and then you're doing the same thing up on the D7th. And then you come into your G with that C/G. Right? And so that's good. So that's the harder way to play it. An easier way to play it is to simply do power chord version, okay? Which is basically you have your first finger, your index finger, on the third fret of the A string. That's that one right there. and then you have your second finger. It's a little bit of a stretch. You have your second finger coming onto the 5th fret of the D string, right? That's that string right there. So that's this finger, and then this finger, your 3rd finger, is on the 5th fret of the G string. Okay, and so, but those are the only notes that you want to hear. Okay, so you kind of have to accent them a little bit to make them have a full sound. And then this way, you don't have to bar the whole fret in order to play the song. You can just do a simple power chord version. G, okay? And so that is basically what you're doing for all the verse parts. Now the chorus comes to something that's a little bit funky, but it's not that hard. When you come to the regular chorus, or when you come to the chorus, you come to your regular G chord. Except that what we're going to do for this G chord is you're going to have your 3rd finger taking the 3rd fret of the B string, right? That's this finger right here. And then you have your 4th finger, your index finger, taking the 3rd fret of the high E string, okay? And that takes over that high G note. And so there's your regular G chord, because the reason we're doing that is because when you go to the 7th, your fingers are already in the proper place for it, okay? And that's the major 7th, excuse me. That's the, you're going to play the G major 7th after the G, okay? So that's, you know, don't it always seem to go, okay? You'll notice what I'm doing is when I go to that major 7th, I'm taking my pinky off, and I'm also taking my index finger from where it was originally in the original G chord. It's on the 2nd fret of the A string. You're going to take that index finger and lift it off so that it's on the 2nd fret of the high E string, okay? And that's what has that high F sharp that gives it the major 7th sound, okay? Just as the first G chord I showed you, you want the fat part of your finger to cancel out that A string so you can barely hear it, right? And that's what makes the G major 7th, okay? And so with that now we can go into our chorus. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? Okay, so the idea is that you want the G on the bass throughout the whole chorus, okay? Which means that we're going to go from our G to our G major 7th, and then we're going to go to that C/G, which is the C with the G bass, okay? And so that's what we're going to go to for that part of the chord. And then at the end, you just got simply the G to that C/G back to the G, right? Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? And then you actually go to the C with the same rhythm as the verse. They take paradise, put up a parking lot. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? They take paradise, put up a parking lot. Okay, so I'm going to play the whole song for you guys, and I'm going to let you guys just play along with me and try to pick up the rhythm that I play the song in, okay? So this is Big Yellow Taxi, originally written by Joni Mitchell. And it starts in C. They gave paradise, put up a parking lot with a pink hotel, a boutique, and a swinging hot spot. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? They take paradise, put up a parking lot. They took all the trees, put them in a tree museum, and they charge all the people $1.50 just to see them. So don't always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone. They take paradise, put up a parking lot. They take paradise, put up a parking lot. Forgot a verse in here. I'm gonna do this one right now. Hey, farmer, farmer, put away the DDT now. No, hit me spots on my apples, but leave me the birds and the bees. Please, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone. They take paradise, put up a parking lot. They take paradise, put up a parking lot. They take paradise, put up a parking lot. Something like that. So that was Big Yellow Taxi by Joni Mitchell. I'm Dustin Cormier for How to Rock a Campfire, and I will see you guys on the next video.